We're here now with Mikki Garcia. She is CEC's immediate past president. And welcome, Mikki.
Thank you so much.
So what is the current state of education for people with disabilities?
There are a lot of things going on in our field. I think I would focus on teachers. To me, that's, our teachers are at the forefront of what's going on in our field and educating our students with disabilities. There's a lot of frustration going on with teachers. I think they're all very well prepared, have great skill levels, but oftentimes they are not able to exercise their profession as they have been taught to do so. And so a lot of frustration with the general education kind of side of things and being able to work with students with disabilities in a way that is most effective for our kids. In particular, students with intellectual disabilities need teachers that have a very kind of different skill level and are able to work with them in a very different way and help to integrate these kids more into our general ed environments. We have a great teacher shortage right now, and we have shortages for teachers that work with children with mild disabilities, but it's even worse with the shortages are even worse with students that have intellectual disabilities.
I'm sure you've experienced a lot being CEC's immediate past president. What accomplishments are you most proud of?
During my presidency, we had a group of people that worked very diligently to put together recommendations for the eventual reauthorization of IDEA. So that was, and those recommendations were approved, and they're just now, we have them. The IDEA is not up for reauthorization yet, but it eventually will be, and so we're ready. And we probably will have to tweak those recommendations, but we're ready to make recommendations. We'll be there at the table making recommendations for changes in IDEA. My most proud accomplishment, I think, was a process that was started the year before I was president and then continued into my presidency, was a change in our governance structure. Our CEC's governance structure had not been revisited for 20 years, and so we were kind of operating on an old model. And so a work group was formed. I was part of that work group as president, and we made recommendations for a new structure, and that those recommendations were kind of put forward during my presidency, and they were approved.
So what are some things you think that we all need to focus on in order to keep pushing for those better services and better education for people with intellectual disabilities?
And I'm going to go back to the teacher shortage. It's a huge issue, and it's not for all areas of special ed. So I think somehow or another we have to focus on incentivizing somehow the idea that of being a special ed teacher. A lot of school systems give bonuses for because it's an area of shortage, but that's not enough. Teachers have to. The bonus is nice, but really what they want are to be respected, to have good working conditions, to be treated as professionals, and to be recognized that they have recognition that they have an area of expertise and they really can help get our students from here to here. And so we need expanded programs for training teachers for intellectual disabilities. As I said before, it's just really hard to find teachers with that level of expertise. We need good transition programs for our kids, and we need to recognize that transition is critical for all kids, but for our kids with intellectual disabilities, it's even more critical because these are the children that after high school will just sit home. And so we have to create meaningful experiences.
Well, we appreciate all your dedication and your service, Mikki Garcia, and for the hope and future that there is for people with intellectual disabilities.
I love what I do, and I just think it's, so many people out there that just have dedicated their lives to children with disabilities, and it's a wonderful thing, and I thank you for having me.
CEC TV is brought to you from the Council for Exceptional Children. For more content like this, check out some of our other videos and learn more about the latest in education for people with disabilities.